What's up, guys? Chris Labash here. Today we're gonna talk about the proper way to vent your tires and do a little test on these tires here. We have the Duratrack C2 6-pack monster truck tires. These are the 2.8. Right now I have two that are vented and two that are not vented. However, they're belted tires, so we're not looking for the balloon factor here. We're looking for just to make sure how to keep your tires lasting longer and why it's appropriate to vent your tires. So everybody knows that there's two holes on the inside of the rim that are there to so-called vent your tires. Honestly, you'd be better off with a sealed rim and a sealed tire, but they don't do that. So if you are like me and you drive in the rain, mud, snow, live in New England, so snow all the time, you have to vent your tires, bottom line. I'm just going to show you the proper way to do it, and why I have you guys here, please in the comment can you leave how to go about tightening your wheel nut on the Duratrack rims here, because 17mm socket doesn't fit in. Nice little tool, doesn't fit in. So pretty much right now I'm using a pair of needle nose pliers and tightening them the best I can by hand. So right now we're in a situation where we're going to run a test and they won't fly off, but while we're out there they're definitely not tight enough. I could make them tight enough, but I mean, I don't understand why they're a 17mm inside diameter and me putting a 17mm wheel nut on here and I can't even tighten it up with a socket or with your tool. So these are also have a bead lock and they're belted. So right now I have two tires that are vented and two tires that are not. So they're belted tires. We shouldn't see a big ballooning issue anyway, but I would be curious to when we slow it down to see if the vented tires balloon any less than the not vented tires yet. And then we're just going to go on and vent those. So right now we have two that are vented and two that are not. First thing you do is take some alcohol and a rag and just wipe down the inner holes on the rim. You know, any residue, so you can get your Gorilla Tape to stick on there nice and good, so you don't have to keep an eye on it as much, and hopefully it lasts longer and sticks on there for a while. But anyway, we'll get to the proper, let's do the little test first. And yeah, my phone's on the remote we're using. This is on 3S. this is pretty much a Traxxas Haas. I made this wasn't a Stampede originally, but I wanted to make a bigger and better 10 scale. So I built this before they dropped the Haas, and pretty much what you have here is a upgraded Traxxas Haas. This is a Rustler LCG Gen 2 chassis. I am running the 4S Creighton motor and a 120 amp Hobbywing ESC, so essentially we're running a 4S all the time. Right now we're on 3S. I need one more connector, and we're going to be running two 2S LiPos, and that way we have more runtime and more better everything. So I did this because I wanted to run a bigger motor, I wanted it to handle better, and I wanted to run a bigger battery. So the Stampede just wasn't doing it for me. So I started this build, and then Traxxas released the Haas, and pretty much that's what this is. The only different is the servo location, and this receiver is mounted up here. But anyway, back to the belted tires. So 2 are vented right now and 2 are not. When we slow that down, we'll see if one happened to balloon at all. But they're belted, so we're not expecting too much balloonage. We'll slow that down, and hopefully we'll be able to tell. Hope I got both tires in frame. It doesn't look like I did. Okay, so we'll do this one more time. Set you up right there. Right there. And we'll see what we got. Okay. And that's on 3S, so we'll be going even faster than that on 4S. I'd throw another 3S in here, but you know, I really don't feel like cooking the ESC tonight, so we'd run on 6, but I don't think they're gonna bloom much anyway. So back to venting the tires properly. So what I use is a piece of brake line from your car. This is a 1/4 inch copper brake line. Pretty much you want to take your tool, you want to cut your line properly. You just run around like a pipe cutter, plumbing, and then you're going to take your blade, and we're going to sharpen the inside of the brake line. You're going to put this at a 45-degree angle or a little tilt, and you start to drill up. And you want to sharpen this up. Pretty much essentially what you end up with is a nice sharp hole. it starts out like this. And it could over time, you know, get a couple dings in it and some bends, so you want to always check when you tighten this up in your drill. If you're, you don't want to crank down on it. It's just copper line. But so I already taped off my holes in the inner tire here with the Gorilla Tape. So essentially what you want to do is find your hole, and I put my hole into the top of the tire directly above the one that's under the tire, because if water is going to get in anywhere, it's either going to come in from that hole. So the faster you can get it out this way, the longer your tires will last, the longer they'll be in balance, the longer and just overall performance of the tire will always be better if you vent them. I believe in the race, even at the carpet tracks, the tires are vented. And Schumacher tires are vented, both in the rim and on the outside of the tire. But you always want to close the inside of the hole on the rim. So you're going to take your drill and line it up where you put your tape. I always go into the center of the tire, and you're going to press down, not too hard. And that is it. It is that simple to do it properly. And the rubber also does not fall in. It will stay right in here. So we'll pick that out, and I'll show you how perfect the hole is. And if you're going to use anything else besides this technique, with the, say you don't have any brake line, old soldering iron that you're not using, you could put a hole in it that way. You do not want to go into the foam. If you use a drill bit, it is highly likely that you will go through the tire into the foam and take a chunk out. You can be retarded and wrap it and instantly ruin your tire by using a drill bit. So I do not recommend doing that. What we have here is a perfect circle of just the rubber. So, and in our tire, we have a perfect circle. Right in the center, and there's 2 holes in the rim, so you want to put 2 holes in your tire. You can go with more holes than 2. I do on some tires. It matters how much money you want to spend and how cheap the rubber is, or and as we look on the table, here lies a wheel nut that came off during our test. Why they would make a rim that you cannot fit your tool in? Unbelievable. Now, the only tool I could think of that would fit would probably be a socket that you would use on your rims, your nice rims on the car. That might just be thin enough to fit in here. Now, I have a very thin pair of needle nose pliers, and just sticking those in, it's still hard to tighten. So if there's a trick or some kind of secret that I don't know about, I mean, if I take the bead lock off, that's not going to get me any room. There's some little caps right here, and if I took those off and the center pops out, which it may, it just doesn't look like it does. But why are these here? So I'm gonna look into that, because that would make sense if this little circle pops out and gives me more room. But if you happen to know, please just put it in the comments. And while you're in there, like and subscribe to the channel. So we have our two holes on that one. We have one hole done on this one. This second one will be right here. So we go back to our brake line. We find our tape. Tape is here. So we're going to put the hole directly in the center. And you could just feel it let go. And it's that simple, doing it the correct way. You get your nice perfect little circle, pull it out, and finish the front. Okay, now here, don't want to hit the foam. However, I did catch the belted part of the tire. I didn't get to the foam, but I did catch the belted part a little bit. Let's see if I could that actually won't work, but let's see if I can get the belted part of the tire. It's like a mesh.
No, I don't think I will.
If you can get that out.
Very well. I'd like to change the designation.
And I didn't even cut that all the way through, because you don't want to push too hard where you go into the foam. And this is doing it the right way. If you use a drill bit and you went into that foam even just a little bit, you're definitely going to be twisting it or taking a chunk out of it. So right there is just the belted mesh. Oh, dropped it. And on the other hole, the belted mesh is still even in there. Alright, so last tire, and that'll be it. Find our tape. Right there, say, last one was a little bit, had to push a little bit too hard. So you could go back and even sharpen this up. With your knife. And go back into the tire, and it should even go through easier. tape right about here. So after a sharp one, you could just go nice and easy, and you'll catch the rubber inside the brake line every time. And have that perfect circle. Now, that one didn't cut through the mesh, so we'll keep it in there. So the last one, simple. Wanted to show you as in speed relatively doesn't matter. It pushed down the rubber a little bit further, but you can go as slow and as fast as you want as long as you're careful and don't get. Do not want to touch the foam in the tire at all, ever. The second best way is probably the soldering iron or anything that's, you know, like a piece of copper brake line that you can sharpen. The copper brake line's great because you can sharpen it and it doesn't, you know, take a toll on any tools. It's copper, it's soft, and that's just the best way to vent your tires, in my opinion. So please, you know, get back to me about these wheel hubs. I'm sure there's something like this cap comes off, or there's got to be something, because if you made a wheel that you can't even get a tool on, that's pretty stupid if you ask me. The belted tires are, and these are relatively good looking tires, guys. I mean, they're belted, they're bead locked, and they were $27.97 for a set of 2. So these are 2.8. I believe the 3.8 were 30 for 2. So I know even for the X-Max that they are 50 for 2. So you pretty much can't beat these Duratrex tires. They're not terrible. They're not a horrible tire. And then one other thing is the backflip LPs. These are the LP backflips. Even this rubber here, and these are quite old. This is still a lot thicker compound rubber. I haven't tried not belted ones, but I've seen that they are pretty weak, and the rubber was kind of crazy, and you ended up with some pizza cutters. But on the backflips here, I vented these when the 4S Creighton came out. So this is what kind of shape they're in, and I've run these on my Outcast 6S, and they're still going. And also invest in this glue here, Starbond. It's this one's black, and it's flexible super glue. It's really incredible stuff. I mean, if you start to blow out a tire, You can put a bead around them, and they'll go and last you for quite some time. I don't go through many tires because of doing that. The Starbond, I have the black, and I have the quick. If you're out and about, and this is the one you bring with you. It's this one is a super fast dry. It's high performance premium acrylic, and it's waterproof. It's flexible, and it's some great super glue. I would definitely look into this. They make a green one that is medium thick. Besides the black, that's the next best one. And they're all flexible, so I mean, I even have the original V2 backflips from my Outcast. It's a version 2, and these have blown out quite a bit. And you can see where I put the super glue, and I mean, it's still super strong. I mean, and these are old, and they're still in great shape. You could even the super glue is so crazy that you could even take a quick piece of sandpaper, but I mean like some of this stuff, and if you have like some chunks out the side or it ripped up a little higher, you could put this in there and give it a nice rub down, and you're back in business. You could probably even take some sandpaper and sand it down. Like you could see there was a rip, pretty big rip right here, but the flexible super glue along here holds that up, and they don't end up blowing out for quite some time. So those are 2 things to make your tires last 10 times longer and balloon less, and also they stay balanced. The best thing to do is if you're out and about, before you throw your wet car in the trunk, just pick up your vehicle and spin the tires, and all the water will come right out. Good to go. If you're in your house and you're washing your car, and everybody washes their rims and tires, so you're spraying your car down. As soon as you're done with that, throw in a battery, spin the tires, blow out all the water, all the dirt, foam stays intact, tires stay balanced, and always keep your tires up off the ground. It's another tip. You don't want to develop flat spots. You don't really need to do that all the time. I mean, for slicks, yeah, definitely, but like I let my mini Erevo sit on the tires once in a while, and these are the stock Erevo tires right here, and I mean they're almost bald, but they're still in great shape, vented. So please tell me what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed this video and this information. So for more upcoming tech talk, and this is definitely now going out and getting beaten on. So to see that video coming up, I have actually had more Haas parts coming in. I have the actual shock towers because on the Stampede, if I have some parts out, even with with these, you know, the Stampede body was like, you know, just too high. It was way up here. And if you throw the Stampede body on that, you're pretty much down to about here, so you have no protection over your whole motor. So I have the Haas towers coming in, and I have the Haas body with the one clip coming in, and I already had the center differential in here. That made a huge difference running the center diff instead of the slipper. I even have the center diff in the Mini Revo. That made a big difference in this too. And this thing has pretty much everything you could do to it done to it. Integi skid plates, Celox servos. Right now I'm switching this from Traxxas remote to the FlySky GT5 remote, and I'm running in this, I'm running 15 in the rear, 75 in the center, and 50 up front. And this right now, which I'm about to change, right now I'm running 30, 100, and 60. But I'm changing that. In my Outcast, I'm running, right now I'm running I'm about to redo all those anyway, so I think right now I'm running in the Outcast, I'm running 60 in the back, 2 in the center, and 100 up front. Yeah, that sounds right. But I'm changing that. I am changing this one. I'm going through all the diffs before it gets, you know, super cold out, so we can go out and break them all and fix them and do it again. But yeah, so guys, let me know about the center wheel nut on this, and please subscribe, like, and comment. Alright, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. If you go through and happen to like the rest of the videos, or any of the running videos, or you want to see something done to any of the cars, let me know, and I will personally respond to you and make you a separate video. You know, I'm not big, I just started YouTube, but I am picking up a felony in a few weeks, so that'll be fun to watch. I have some ideas for that. Have that drag ready by spring. Probably won't be dragging unless we find a huge indoor spot to drag, which I'm on the hunt for too. If you happen to know of a big factory with a beautiful loading dock of concrete floor. A bunch of my buddies will all get together and we'll go drag for money down there. So all you need is 132 feet and some stopping time, and you have your drag race. So I have a couple guys that are huge into drag racing right now. They're the New England CT boys. There's the Connecticut boys, and then there's 1 and 8. Bunch of people I know drag. So guys, just subscribe, and you'll see them in some events and some drag racing, some bashing, and everything you could do with an RC car. Alright? Thanks for watching, guys. This is Chris LaBash. I'll check you later. Bye.